Hello, I hope that you are doing great. In this video we are going to cover two topics, Git and GitHub. Basically Git is a command to track the changes in our files, and GitHub is a repository in which we can store files. I'm not going to explain how to install Git because it's super simple. Then this is something that you can do by yourselves. I will leave you a link in the description about how to install Git in your computers, and we are going to do this during the lectures, but this is something that you have to do yourself. Then basically we move to the repository that you have downloaded from the computer. The first thing that from GitHub, here you have this gitignore file. Basically a gitignore file is very useful when you work with GitHub, because basically will tell you the kind of the content in your computer that you are not going to move to GitHub. Usually the virtual environment, for example, is something that you don't want to move, and many other files that is in your computer you don't want to move it to the cloud. Okay, then this is basically a gitignore file that I took from internet. It's a template for GitHub Ignore for Flask, and this is something that you can customize later on during the process. Okay, the first thing that we are going to do is to start or to track our files. By doing that, we go to the source control panel and we go to the initialize repository. Here, as you can see, all the files have an U for untrack. As soon as you click in the plus button, this move to the stages changes, and here we are going to introduce our first commit. And then you have two options, so you click this commit button here or this one here, and then we are going to publish the branch. Publish the first branch, and then we go here to publish branch, and then this is going to push the code from our computer to GitHub, and we are going to create a repository there. The first time that you do this, you have to allow your computer and GitHub to communicate by introducing your password. Given that I have done this many times, I don't have to go through that process, but it's very simple. Basically, you only have to introduce your password, and then GitHub and your computer are going to communicate. I will select a repository, and basically now if I go here, I will open this in GitHub, and here basically we have created a repository with this user's video, and that's all. Basically we have done our first push. It's very important if you work with people that you go to these settings, and here you add collaborators. Basically you want to add all the people in your team in such a way that all the people will have access to this repository, and then later on we are going to create branches and everything, and then the people can collaborate in this repository. Okay, then you go here, add people. If you are in GitHub, it's very easy because you are going to find the people automatically, otherwise by the email, and that's the thing. Okay, then I will go again to my repository and I will introduce a small change here in the Carbon app. I go to the templates, for example, and I go home, and here I will edit this file, and here I will introduce welcome to our app, and I commit the changes. Basically now what I am doing is committing the changes in my computer, and these changes now is in GitHub, is in the cloud, but it's not in my computer. If we want to move this code from GitHub to our computer, it's very simple. We have to go to Visual Studio Code, and here in the left corner you have these synchronized changes. You hit this button, and then basically this is going to move the code from GitHub to our computer. And if we go to that particular file that we have here in the templates, now instead of having the old code that we have in our computer, we have the new code that we have introduced. Okay, good. Now basically what we are going to do is to create our first branch. As I told you, basically when you work in projects, there are a part of the team that is working with a new project. For example, in this case, we are going to work with the user. We want to create the register button, the login button. We are going to create a blueprint to do that. And then we are going to create a specific branch to work on that specific topic, so that if we make any mistake there, we don't create a fire in the rest of the application. To do that is very simple. We go again to the source control panel. And here we are going to these three buttons here, and we are going to branch, and we are going to create a branch. And this branch the name is going to be users. Once that you hit this button, it's going to appear here the users branch. Before we have the main branch, and now we have the users branch. And now what I will do is to introduce some changes in our code. I go here and I go to the Carbon app. I will create a template, a blueprint that is called users. This is going to be the package, and here basically I will create an init file. And here basically later on I go, for example, to the home page. I will copy these roots. We copy this. And we go to the users package, and I will create another file that is roots.py. We paste this information here, and the blueprint, the name of the blueprint that we covered this topic in the previous chapter, is going to be users. Instead of home, is going to be users. And here we are going to have a register button. Here we are going to have a register function. And here we are going to redirect the user to the register HTML file. Register. Okay. Once that we have done this, we have to go to the init file and we have to register this blueprint. Basically, we go here, we paste this, and here we, from cap, the users package, we are importing users. And here we are connecting the application with this blueprint that we have created right now. Okay. The relevant thing here is that you have these two green lines, one in line 7, one in line 12. This means that these lines are before weren't there, and now they are. If we introduce a change in one of the lines, for example in line 4 by introducing the 1, it's going to introduce this orange line. This means basically that we have modified the content, and if we erase something, it's going to appear this red line. Okay, this is the three type of changes that we can accomplish. I will modify this because I don't want to create a mess in the code. Then basically we have added 2 lines of code. Okay. Now what we want to do is, once that we are happy with the changes in our computer, we are going to push this new branch to GitHub. And to do that, we go again to the source control panel. And here basically we are going to write publish the branch users. Okay. We have first to commit to move all these to add this to the stage changes in all the files that we have changes, and now these three files are now in the stage changed window, and now basically we are going to commit these changes and we are going to push this to GitHub, and we want to publish this branch. Okay. And basically now if we go to our GitHub account, we refresh the page, we go to the users video. Here, as you can see, now appears first this window here with this message, the compare and pull request. We have here 2 branches, and here as well we have 2 branches. Before only we have main, but now we also have users. Then basically now what we are going to do is, as a team, you are going to discuss the changes, and if you like the changes, you are going to merge the users and the main branch. Basically, you are going to put these 2 things together, and then we are going to move all the code from the users branch to the main branch. Then we compare, we start a pull request, publish the branch users. This is going to be the title, and then we go here, and then we're going to create a pull request. And basically we want to merge the pull request. We are going to merge the users and the main branch, and then confirm the merge. And from that moment, basically what we have is that all the code that before we have in users, we have it in main. If I go here again, now in the main file, I have here this user package that I have created, and in the init file we also have the new init file, the one that we have in users. And this coincide is exactly the same information that we have in users. This is not a good practice. Basically, have two branches is not a good practice, because once that we have merged the content in main, we want to erase this from GitHub. And then basically if I go here, I will erase this. In case that later on we need to work again in the users package because we want to introduce further changes there, we will create a new branch. But now we want to erase this because otherwise we don't know which branches are we merging. We have to be very well organized. Then I erase this, and then if I move here again, now I only have one branch. After doing this, basically what we want is that all the members in the team want to have exactly the newest code. And basically to do that, we have to go to Visual Studio Code. And here we have to select the branch in which we want to merge this. It's going to be main. We select the main branch here. And basically now what we are going to do is, before, if I go to this particular file, in the main branch, basically what we want to do is, if I synchronize this, after synchronizing this, I will have also the code that we have from GitHub is going to be also in our computer. And this is basically what is happening now, is basically that in the main branch we are going to have also the code that we get from GitHub. It's also a good practice if we go here later on. I am having problems with internet, but if we go here, what you want to do after finishing this process is basically erase the users branch as we have done before. This is taking some time. I don't know why. This usually is automatic, but I'm not going to redo the entire video because I have done this at least 6 or 7 times, and that's all. This basically concludes the video. This process here concludes the video, in which we have learned how to move code from our computer to GitHub and from GitHub to our computer. I hope that you found this video interesting, and see you in the next video.